Napoleon is directed by Ridley Scott and stars Joaquin Phoenix and Vanessa Kirby. And this movie tells the life story of Napoleon Bonaparte as he tries to rule over all of Europe and is having love affairs with his wife, and maybe she is doing the same as well. Though the latter part of that plot synopsis is what the movie is mostly about, which is quite unfortunate because that is, in my opinion, probably the most boring idea for a Napoleon movie I could think of. It's something that could be interesting in the background to give some idea of who Napoleon is in his personal life when he's not out in the battlefield, but what makes Napoleon interesting was just how he was able to rule over most of Europe. And unfortunately, we only get a handful of moments where we see the brilliant battle tactician that he is and how ruthless of a leader he is. And they don't even last all that long. It's a bunch of romance stuff with his wife, to the point where I would consider this less of a battle gladiator type movie that Ridley Scott is known for, and more of a romance, which I would be fine with. But when it's not that interesting, I much rather have us go back to focusing on Napoleon being a masterful battle tactician. And unfortunately, we don't get much of that, as I said. And Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon, just in my opinion, slept throughout this entire film. His performance felt lifeless. There's nothing much to the character to find interesting here that he's able to bring to life. Vanessa Kirby is good in the role, and she is probably the best part in this entire film as Josephine. But other than her and some honestly good battle scenes, I'll admit that, and good cinematography and music, this was just a lackluster film that did not have any of the spark that I would consider to be part of a Ridley Scott movie. It's not grand or epic, or it is brutal, but it doesn't feel all that brutal really. There really isn't much to this film, and a lot of scenes are pretty awkward when people are not talking and when they're just staring around. It's not intense or anything, it just feels weird, and every single scene I felt like was awkwardly staged. Like everyone in the room is very uncomfortable in their roles when it's not a battle sequence. When it is a battle sequence, everyone seems to be a little bit more confident, but when it's outside the battlefield, everyone just feels awkward really, and it was just very disappointing. Not to mention the fact that the sex scenes that are implemented in this film, that they're just some of the most awkward stuff I've seen in quite a while, and I had no idea if Ridley Scott directed it or if Weird Al Yankovic came in and just did the directing duties for him at those parts. I don't know what was up with that stuff. It just was so awkward right there. All in all, Napoleon was a very disappointing film, and I'm going to give it a C-. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.